Hey everyone, it's Aubrey, recovering perfectionist, queen of distraction / gardener, and we are back for another summer garden tour and update. You guys. The last week has been a weird combination of really hot weather, burned my lips on the boat the other day when we were out on the lake, and then our dryer is out of commission right now, and naturally when I am literally forced to hang my clothes outside to dry, that's when we would start getting random rains in August. I'm also needing to change my outfit like 2 or 3 times a day to accommodate the weather change. It definitely already kind of feels like fall. Like, look at those leaves. Last week I talked about how I was starting to let our chickens free range again, and I had to not do that anymore. For the most part, they never really got in the garden, but then they did get in the garden. Thankfully, they only really dug where there wasn't anything planted, but being that I have committed myself to doing a fall garden, I had to start keeping them in their coop, except for Pearl because she escapes every day. Last week, I had talked about how I really didn't want to do a fall garden, but was going to anyway, just because it's the responsible thing to do. But this last week I was able to clear out some beds, get a lot of things planted, and I guess by doing that I just kind of found my garden spark again. So I'm proud of myself that I didn't give up and that I just kind of pushed through and got those things in the ground. And I think doing that really kind of helped switch my mindset. So in this section right here, I put some butter lettuce in, and then I planted some cilantro behind that kale. We had cleared out all the lettuce from here. And in this bed, I planted a whole new round of carrots. The boys have really been going crazy for those. And then I think in this bed, I'm gonna fill in the gaps with some new beets. I need to get some seeds for my mom for those. And then half of the bed of carrots, I cleared out and I planted spinach there. And let's just take a moment to admire the sunflowers. And then here's the tomatoes. It look like another one somebody picks and then doesn't bring inside. So far in this potato bag, everything has died back. And I think that today, I'm going to dump that out with the boys and we're going to see what we got as far as potatoes goes. Our beans have still been doing really good. I've been able to freeze a lot of beans and I've added them to a few different dishes over the course of the last week. The cabbage starts that I've had sitting in this tray, the ones that looked the best, I did plant throughout this bed. I don't know what's going on with the beans that I planted. Only that one is actually doing anything, so we'll see what happens there. I did harvest one of those crookneck squash and I added it to a soup that I made last night, and it was squash. So on the edge of this fence, I did decide to plant some more of the Sugar Daddy snap peas. I was going to try and avoid planting there since I had already planted some there, you know, like crop rotation, blah, blah, blah. But it was the only place that I had for anything to climb. So I just put more there to see what happens since we still have some time in the season to hopefully get another run of those. And then in front of that, I planted some romaine. The cabbage are doing really well. I'm just mind blown at this. I'm so excited about that. And then our zucchinis are still doing pretty good. The big baby zucchini, the experiment zucchini, is chugging along. And then I think this one might just be done for the season. But we are getting some more strawberries. The boys really don't dig in here anymore, but last night Josh did and he found a couple strawberries in there. We've gotten a few cherry tomatoes and then one really big tomato off of, I think it's literally called a big boy tomato. And I feel like that one tomato equaled like 3 or 4 Roma tomatoes. Speaking of which, I forgot that one in the garden again. I'll grab it eventually. Let's see, there's a little boy looking at me. He wants out. So this is what we got. I wouldn't consider it a fail, but I wouldn't consider it a huge success either.
It's a medium.
Yeah, it's a medium. Before I decide whether or not this is worth doing, I'm going to decide based on how the other bag does. I mean, I guess it's something. 1 bag, 1 meal. I'll count it as a win, I suppose. I think we'll give that... Alec is going to go water things. I think we'll give the other bag another couple weeks or so before we dump that one out. But I think that's it for this week. Thanks for tagging along for another update. I will see you all next week. As always, I love you, have fun, and be kind.